How do we split atoms? Well, here's how we split atoms. Find a really heavy element like uranium or plutonium and throw a super slow-moving neutron at it. If the neutron has a nice soft landing, the nucleus will absorb it and split into two smaller nuclei. And when it splits, it releases a burst of energy, a few extra neutrons, and a shower of radioactivity. So why does splitting an atom release energy? Because there's something called mass defect. And here's where things get really interesting. Every time a big nucleus splits, it releases 2 or 3 more neutrons. And if they're moving nice and slow, they can go on to split even more atoms, creating a chain reaction. This nuclear fission was first achieved in 1938 by Otto Hahn and Lisa Meitner. They were shooting slow neutrons at uranium, and they just happened to notice some really weird stuff on the periodic table. Like, check this out. If you start with uranium and throw a neutron at it, you get neptunium, and then plutonium, and then technetium, and then a bunch of other stuff. They ended up discovering over 200 different types of atoms that can be born from one fission event, so-called fission fragments. Now, this would be great for powering a planet if we could just control it. And in power plants, splitting just 1 gram of uranium can generate as much electricity as burning 3 tons of coal. That's because every time a uranium atom splits, it releases 2 or 3 more neutrons, and each one of those can go on to split another uranium atom and another in a chain reaction that can be carefully controlled by humans. The heat from the splitting atoms boils water, which makes steam, which powers turbines, which generate electricity. It's basically just a fancy steam engine. But if it runs away, well, then you've got an atomic bomb on your hands. So how do we stop that from happening? Well, in a controlled reactor. We use rods made from neutron-absorbing material like boron or cadmium to soak up the extra neutrons and keep the chain reaction nice and slow. But if we let the chain reaction run wild, well, then the neutrons have a much higher chance of hitting more uranium atoms and causing a runaway blast. In a nutshell, that's how we split atoms. For more about how the atom was discovered, stay tuned.